Hi, I'm Pastor Dave, and this is something new that we are doing for the East Salem Otterbein Charge. This is a 3-minute sermon recap. Whether you missed the sermon on this past Sunday or short on time, or if you just want a quick refresher of what you heard, here's a summation of the points of the service. So here we go. This past Sunday was a day we both marked the Ascension of our Lord, which was actually the previous Thursday, as well as Aldersgate Sunday, the day that John Wesley's heart was strangely warmed. The main point was to look at how God was at work in the hard and difficult times of our lives. For this lesson, we used 1 Peter chapter 4, verses 12 through 14, and chapter 5, verses 6 through 11. We started the sermon by hearing about really John Wesley's mission to Georgia and the complete failure that mission was. This caused some doubts within John, especially related to his salvation and his faith. In John's life, as well as in Peter's letter, we see that our own world can be difficult. Our lives may not always work out as we expect, and in those times, we see some lessons that God has for us. To start off, the Christian life involves taking up one's cross. We see that in Matthew 16, verses 24 through 26, when Christ says, "Take up your cross and follow me." We are all called as Christians to take up the cross, which can be a burden at times, or easy at others. Regardless of the weightiness of the cross, we all take one up as we become disciples of Jesus Christ. This is just as important to remember in our times of trials. And we just have been working through this with that time of social distancing, or as a colleague put it, we really should call it physical distancing. It's been a complete disruption of our lives, and this has been a trial. And this type of trial places us with the rest of the Christian tradition. All of Christianity, from the beginning through to this day, has endured periods of trial and persecution. It's part of what our faith leads to. But this does give us some insight on God. For as we can see, God understands our struggles. In becoming human in the flesh of Jesus Christ, both fully human and fully divine, God experienced emotions. God experienced physical pain. And this is on top of the fact that God created us. So God understands what we go through. And also, we don't like trial and struggle and change. But when we remember that God understands our struggles, we can start to see how God uses our experiences in those troubles for something greater than us. And sometimes it also just impacts us. Sometimes we just grow because of those struggles. I mean, when you seriously think about it, think back over the last 3 months. Have you learned to do something new? Have you learned that you're capable of doing something you didn't think you could do? Do you see God in the same light? When we see that we grow in those struggles, we can also start to see how God uses those struggles not just to help us grow, but for something better. And that's why we brought up John Wesley, because we could see how through his struggles he was exposed to new things, how he grew, and how Methodism really began because of a man who learned in his struggles. And we can do the same for ourselves. When we look back at our past struggles, we can see how God has used them. So remember in these hard times, as we wrap up this brief sermon recap, that God is with us, God will use us, and God will use us to do great things, even if we don't see it yet. Until Sunday, I'm Pastor Dave, and I hope to see you in the pews.